Hi everyone, good morning to you all. Welcome back to science class. In the last session, already we learnt about the important concept about the eye, especially the inner part of the eye. So once again, I will revise those important parts of the eye. That is mainly first is cornea, then iris, lens, and inside the iris there is a opening chord as a that is a pupil, and also optic nerves, and also retina, right? And mainly I will start now about the retina. Retina is a screen of the eye, very important. Why? Because the image is completely formed on retina. That's why it is act like a screen in the face of like a television. Screen is very important for us, right? So especially the retina contains two types of sensitive cells, right? They are the cones and rods. There are two types of cells called as cones and the rods. Here the students, cones, sensitive bright light, and these sensitive dim light. These into that's a dim light. So the number of rods more than that of the cones in the case of the retina, right? So actually the nerve cells can send the message through the optic nerve to the brain. It's the main function of the retina in the eye. But here what happens, sometimes cones and the optic nerve, between the retina and optic nerve there is a one junction will be there. Junction in the sense one passage, the passage between the retina and the optic nerve. But in that position there are no any sensory cells. There is no any sensory cells. So no vision is possible in that spot. If there is a sensory cells, vision is possible, but in that passage there is no sensory cells, so no vision is possible in that spot. So that spot maybe we call it is blind spot. Dear students, once again I will say the blind spot is very important. There is a junction between the retina and the optic nerve. In that place, in that passage, there is no sensory cells, so no possible form of vision. So that spot is called as the blind spot. Okay, this one we will discuss in the again in the structure in the next classes. But now almost all we have to see more variety of objects in our surroundings, right? Do you know how much of time the image present on our eye? Do you know? So the impression of an image do not vanish immediately from the retina. When you see a object, the image is formed on the retina of our eye. But do you know how much of time it is persist on the retina? Immediately it do not invisible, do not vanish. Then how much? What is the time or to stay on our retina of the eye? That is 1/16th of a second. The every image of the object what we have to see in, that is present or persist 1/16th of a second on retina of the normal human eye. And sometimes almost all we are watching the picture, means movies. In the movies there are many pictures are available, there are many pictures will come and moving. So sometimes the rate of image moving on our eye more than that of 24 pictures than the rate of 1 by 16 of a second. Right, my dear students? Dear students, one more important concept, that is highlights. So highlights, what do you call these? Eyelids. These are called as eyelids. So actually the human eye has two eyelids. The eyelids are very important to us. Why? Because they protect our eyes. They protect our eyes. Yet what way it protect our eyes? That is the eyelids to prevent any object. Any object in the sense the dust particles or any heavy object all falls on our eye. So that almost all any object from entering into the eye. If any object entering into the eye, it protect our eye. So it's a very important for us. And these are shut down or shut out light, shut out the light when not required. If the intensity of light is more or the heavy light is falling on our eye, suddenly we close our eyelids. Why? Because the light or that intensity of light is not required for our eyes. Then at that time we have to close the eyelids and protect our eyes. Right? And one more important point is the eye is an important instrument in our day-to-day life. Why? Because some persons can see nearby object clearly but cannot see distant object, means far objects cannot see properly, cannot see clearly. On other hand, some persons cannot see nearby object clearly and they can see and they are able to see far objects clearly. So why it happens? So it's mainly effect upon the lens. So it's depend upon and it's varies or it different according to the age. If the person become old, then already he is suffering some problems of the eye. In the next class, let's discuss about that. But now my point, the person can see nearby object clearly but not distant objects, means far object. That is called as, or that condition is called as myopia. And the person cannot see near object clearly but he can see far objects clearly. That type of defective is called as hypermetropia. Hypermetropia and myopia, very important for us because of these are the two defects of the eye, especially the person reached the old or aged. These two are will get the person when it become old. So once again I repeat, myopia means the person can able to see near object clearly but not far object. And hypermetropia is the person can able to see near object clearly, far object clearly but not near object. So these two defects we can correct by using a suitable lenses. So that concept we will discuss in the next session.